Left my water over there. All right, family. You live with the general. Y'all already know what time it is. We black in the house. Before we get started, make sure you get on over there to Patreon. I got over 600 exclusive live streams for you. After I made you today and you want more, that's where you go. You're going to get it all. You're going to get all you ever wanted. You feel? And more. I'm going to blow your mind. Let's get started today, family. We're talking about Ham, the biblical father of Ethiopia, ancient Egypt, and Canaan, also Foot, which was, identified either as Libya or as uh, ancient Somalia, the Horn region of Africa. We're in the house. And so we had to, very interesting because Ham is the son of Noah. And the three sons of Noah. You got this story about the three sons of Noah. Uh, and they always want to depict one black, one Semitic, one white. I don't know how one man and one woman get three damn races, and I don't know how you do that. So that's some bullshit. You got some. If it's one man and one woman, and y'all come out with three different races, man, y'all genes all fucked up. You need, I don't know what happened. They say God was perfect and shit, but that don't tell that. That's not the story I'm getting. That's not the story I'm getting. And so when we talk about Ham was the patriarch of the African tribes. Ham was the father of Egypt, Ethiopia, Canaan, and Foot. Let me get it in here. Let me get it in here. Okay, we're in the house, family. We're about to work out. Here we go. Let me get it over here. Okay, and so as you can see, Ham is Africa. Okay, you got to know what this is. If you don't get the genealogy first, you shouldn't even go into the Bible until you get the genealogies, knowing who is supposedly being depicted. The Hamites, the Shemites is not Semite. It became Semite later when you became Semi. You now you ain't even Semi. You half of that. You might not be nothing at all. You feel me? Might not even be a drop. So it's really Shemite, but you look here, you see Ham is Egypt. Now the thing is, in the Bible, Egypt is called the land of Ham. And so there Ham is indistinguishable in many instances from Egypt. Now, when you go into the ancient Kemetic language, you will see that the word for Egypt is Kemet, Chemi, or Kim, as in the root of chemistry, which means black. Okay, and it don't mean it means scorched black. Okay, that's what it means. And so they ain't playing when they came up. And so you get calm, you get Ham, you get Cham, Cham, you get Kam, you get Kement, Kemet, and some people even spell it with the I, Kimit, Kemet. Okay, and so all of that is variations of Kam, Ham, Cham, meaning black, and we're gonna prove it. We ain't gonna just tell you it mean black. We gonna show you it mean black. And so the children of Ham was Ethiopia. Now, and to see, this is why I had to show y'all this. This is why I had to show y'all this. Because in the Bible, they say the mother is a human salad. He crazy. uh, in the Bible, see, this is clear. In the Bible, Ethiopia is the firstborn son of Ham. He's older than Egypt. You see, and so Ethiopia is the older brother of Egypt, showing that Egypt came first. Ethiopia came first. Okay, and you see Canaan, and we just got it into the Canaanites, dealing with the god El. We also dealt with uh, was Jebus. Yeah, the son of Canaan, who is also a Hamite. So they all go back to the patriarch. The patriarch is Ham. That means all the Egyptian, the descendants of the Egyptians, the descendants of the Canaanites, the descendants of the Cushites, the Ethiopians, all of those are Hamites, Hamitic, Africa, black. Okay, so when we say that God, El is an African god, we know exactly what we talking about. You see, that's right. You know exactly what we talking about. And so we're gonna get let's dive deep now. You got the hope you got your snorkel equipment on. You feel me? Cause we're going. You might need one of them tanks. You gonna need more than some snorkeling shit. We're going deep. We going deep, y'all, down there with the mantis and shit. Them big ass squids and shit. And so again, showing you the genealogy. Let me make sure. Matter of fact, let me make sure I'm up here looking good. Okay. Pull this up. Okay. Comments. Let me get my comments up. Okay, we're in the house. Cool. And so you see here again, and then you see all the even the Philistines. A lot of people didn't know that. Y'all rooted, you know, I rooted for Goliath. Y'all niggas rooted for David. You see what I'm saying? They you know, in my story, Goliath stepped on David. See, he squashed his ass. Y'all got the wrong story. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the Philistines was from the bloodline, as you can see. If you go up now, they try to use the term Mizraim in the Hebrew for Egypt. Mizraim, okay, which is you get that from the from the Hebrew, but which ain't no Hebrew, which is Canaanite, you know, but they created their own name, Mizraim, and then you got the Arabs talking about Mizr. Ain't no Mizr, ain't no Mizraim or none of that, okay? But that's the term that they use for Egypt. And if you come down, you'll see that the Philistines were of the bloodline of the ancient Egyptians, and they live in Canaan. So you see not only that the Canaanites were the blood brothers of the Egyptians and the Cushites, but you had Egyptians, pure Egyptians that was living in Canaan. They were living in Canaan, okay? And so the Philistines moved into Canaan. In matter of fact, today where they're fighting at in Gaza, Gaza was originally the stronghold of the Philistines, okay? Which come out of Egypt, okay? I just want y'all to know that. And really, all of them giants, the ones that they call Nephilim on the planet, what they call them, the Raphaim and all of them, the giants that was on they come from the African bloodline. Nobody wants to talk about that. Okay, every last one of them. You go down, if you look over Canaan on the end, and then you come down and see all here, Sidon, Sidon. You see the Hittites, the Jebusites, Jerusalem. They stole that from you. They don't want to talk about that. It was Jerusalem before they went in there. Jerusalem is named after the Canaan's son, Jebus, and they never changed it. So make that make sense. Say, don't take nothing from the Canaanites, but you took everything from the Canaanites. The names, the god El, that come from Canaan. You see? And so you come, so all of the tribes of Canaan are Hamites. They from the blood, the patriarch who lived in Egypt. Okay, so I want y'all to know where Ham lived at. He lived in Egypt. And Egypt was called the land of Ham. Egypt was his domicile. So in the Bible, Ham and Egypt are interchangeable. Okay, just so you know that. Then you come down all the way down Nimrod. People, why is everybody that's African evil? You curse Canaan and a servant of servants you will be. The fucking plagues of Egypt. All these old wicked in the Israelites, the most wickedest motherfucker in the Bible. The most wickedest motherfuckers in the Bible was the Israelites. I don't understand that. I don't. Every last one of their kings was some low down, dirty dog. And I say it because it's true. I don't say it just to defile. They say, oh, no, it's true. It's true. I say, damn, how low down can you be? Look at David. Look at David. Slept with his own, another man wife. I'll get into that later. I'll get into that later. That's going to take me down another road. That's going to take me down another road. Nimrod was who is the founder of Mesopotamia. See? So if you ever read the Bible and you know chronology, because when you come into the history books, they try to make it look like Sumeria is older than Egypt. How in the fuck is that? How you gonna make that possible? When you look at the chronology based on the Bible, Nimrod is way down the line. How in the hell Egypt is one of the four major? Matter of fact, he one in, well, you might as well say 1 and 2. Cush, Mizraim, 1 and 2. These are the two greatest sons in the whole of the Hamitic bloodline, following Canaan. So Nimrod was the son of Cush. In the Bible, he was the nephew of Egypt, showing you the lineage. And out of Nimrod came Babylon, Assyria, Nineveh, Akkad, Erech, Calneh, all of that, Shinar, all of that is of Hamitic blood, African bloodline. Okay, then you got Sheba, which is Arabia, Dedan, that's Ramah, that's modern day Arabia. Okay, so the Hametics was in there, the Ethiopian Hamitic bloodline, Egyptian bloodline was in what today they call Arabia, thousands upon hundreds of thousands of years before the Arab got there. At least 100,000 at the minimum. That's when they say man was first documented being in Arabia. Okay, so now that we got that, now let's check it out. Now I want to blow your mind now, so you can hear me out. Now I'm gonna show you the esoteric understanding. Wait a minute. Matter of fact, no. Let me tap into the definition. And I got one I lost. But this is Kalmit's biblical dictionary. This one was I believe this one was like early 1900. I got to get the second page. And you see right there, and you see the definition, it says harm or charm. So you can spell it C-H-A-M. So when you go over there in Southeast Asia, and you got the ancient nation right in Cambodia called Champa, was next to Angkor Wat, and you know of the Angkor Wat temple over there with the African faces over there. You know what that is. Okay, what does Ham mean? It means burnt, swarthy, and black. Okay, it says the youngest son of Noah, which I dispute. One day, and because ain't no Noah, and there they go trying to lessen Africa. One day when Noah had drank wine, Ham perceived his parent lying in his tent with his person exposed. So Noah was a damn drunk. Noah then went and got on that wine, and he done drunk so much wine that he done fell out naked. And Ham supposedly saw him and ridiculed his ass. Okay, and so when Noah woke up, Shem and Japheth, his other two brothers, snitched on him and said, yeah, you know Ham was in here, he's in here ridiculing, talking shit about you. And so Ham woke up and said, you know what, curse be Canaan. He didn't curse Ham, but I guess if you curse his son, that is cursing. He didn't curse Ham personally. He cursed his son Canaan. He hadn't even had the boy yet. And so now you got to understand, this is his grandson. And so you going to curse your grandson that's not even born. A servant of servants shall he be to his brethren. A servant of servants. He shall be to his brethren. So that just show you right there where a motherfucker brother is enslaving the other brother. Enslaving the brother. Be a servant. And say Ham was father of Cush, Mizraim, which is Egypt. Foot, which some people say is Libya, some say Somalia, and Canaan. It is believed, because Foot, some people say is Punt. It is believed that he had Africa for his inheritance, listen, and that he peopled it, but he dwelt in Egypt. He dwelt in Egypt. Africa is called the land of Ham in several, now, I know when they trying to, they slipping up. You see, I know when they slipping up. They just let us know Ham or Cham means burnt, swarthy, black, right? And so it says, when you get down here, it says Africa is called, no, it didn't say Africa. It said Egypt was called the land of Ham. And so, but they didn't want you to come to the understanding that Egypt meant burnt, swarthy, black. So they backed right on out of that and said Africa. Yeah, we know Africa is burnt, but Egypt is depicted as being something else, you see? And so it's very clear, and I got a whole lot of other biblical dictionaries that also document. This was the common understanding when you get in the 18th and 19th, the late 1800s, early 1900s. But when niggas like me start showing up that had some knowledge of self and they say, oh no, we got to get rid of this. We told these niggas that wasn't no civilizations in Africa. Said niggas was running around throwing buffalo bones and shit and all, and throwing rhinoceros horns and shit, and walking around with a thong on and yelling ooga booga and cooking peoples and shit. And so here it is, you find out that these is Africans and they were the founders of civilization. What? Yeah, if you want to know, I got a few more. I'm gonna be quick with it. Easton's, matter of fact, let me come in a little bit so y'all can see me. I'm gonna read them off to you. That's right, Egypt is Africa, but we being specific. We got to be specific here. We can't be in generalizing. You see, we know Africa is black, but Egypt is depicted, and in the Bible, Egypt is called the land of Ham. We got to be right and exact. We can't be, where we, generalize, and we know Africa is black already. But Egypt has been depicted as something different, and it is in Africa. But a lot of people tries to prove, say that Egypt culturally and, and ethnically was a part of, the nations outside Africa, and we know that's a lie, but we're showing here in the Bible and proving that, and we had to be right and exact. You see, Easton's Illustrated Bible, 1897. You with me? Under Ham, what did I say? Easton's Illustrated Bible. You can write it down. 1897. Under Ham, Matthew George Easton gives. This is the definition: warm, hot, and hence the South. Also, an Egyptian word meaning black. See, they already in 1897. They knew this shit. They already know that it mean Kim. They already know that it mean Kam. Then identifies Ham as Noah's son. It also associates Ham's line with Ethiopia, Egypt, Arabia, and early Babylon. You hear what I'm saying? So we right in exact. I'm giving you more than one reference. Ain't that what you want? Asia too. That's indeed. American Tract Society Bible Dictionary. What does it say? 19th century. It says Its entry for Ham gives the meaning, listen, burnt, swarthy black, just as Calmet's, and identifies him as the son of Noah. What was that? American Tract Society Bible Dictionary, 19th century. Then we got the Smith's Bible Dictionary, William Smith, originally 1860s editions continue into the early 1900s. Smith gives Ham as hot, sunburnt, and identifies his sons as Cush, Mizraim, Foot, and Canaan, and it explicitly, listen, now this is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm talking. It explicitly identifies Egypt as the biblical land of Ham, which is significant. Because we trying to show and prove that Egypt is, and we know it, but we got to document this shit. We can't just say it. We got to document it. It's there for us to document. Strong's exhaustive coordinates, 1890. Strong's identifies biblical Cush as the son of Ham, and as Ethiopia. Later lexicographically material presented alongside Strong's, including Brown, Driver, Briggs, gives Cush equaling black and identifies him as the son of Ham and grandson of Noah, associated with African people around, listen, the southern Nile. Whoa. See, so General ain't making shit up. They been knew this. See, that's why you got to have these scrolls. You got to have a mind like the General, so I can get this shit to you so you can put it in here and go get some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Smith therefore directly connected Kim, like it's in chemistry, black equaling Ham. Although the black in that particular passage is explicitly explained by Smith as referring to the soil. Smith don't know what he's talking about because I check him on that. See, when they get to run into that soil shit, I got their ass on that because I could show you where Canaan, who molded man on the potter's wheel, used the soil of the Nile. So ain't no running from that. Okay, we got that. I check Smith and Driver and all the rest of their ass too. Yeah, I'll put their ass on a bikes. They'll be on a bicycle. Them motherfuckers be on a moped trying to get up out of that motherfucker. For real. So let me get back. So, so we showing improving. And you can see here, and I'm gonna keep it moving. You see, wait, I ain't even got it in there. Let me get it in here. That's right. Yeah, them motherfuckers will be on a moped trying to get up out of there. Here comes Seth. And so you see Ham, and you can, all that Shem shit, that's fake. You can throw that out of there. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to cause confusion. Because really we just saw where Mesopotamia was also Hermetic. You see, they don't even try to put it over there. See, this old lying ass Bible. This is it right here. We're down here at the bottom, all yellow. That's Hermetic. All of that is Hermetic. Everything. And matter of fact, even going up into Turkey, because that was the Hittites. That was one of the sons of Canaan. That was one of the sons of Canaan. And so even that up there was a part of the African. And I can go into that much deeper too and black it up and prove it beyond any reasonable doubt. So there it is, family. We just getting started. I'm staying on the science, Wait a minute, I didn't. Where I'm at? Oh, here I go. I didn't came off my thing. Let me get back in here. Yeah, I'm black in the house, y'all. Yeah, so I'm staying on the science, man. I'm not. I got some toys and shit, and I've been waiting on my toys to come in. And so that's where we're going. We're going back to the sacred science, and we're going to stay on the sacred science. So if y'all ready, tap on in. We're going to let the world be the world, and we're going to document, and I'm gonna load you up with all the facts, all the references that you need, and we're going to move forward like we always have been anyway. But we're going to put the facts up here. The visuals is amazing. Make sure you get over there to Patreon, the link right there in the chat. It's right there. All you have to do is click it. Go over there. And no matter where you start at, you can start at the bottom. And goddamn it, it's a treasure chest waiting on you at the bottom. At the bottom, it's a treasure chest. So get on over there. I'll see y'all in a minute, man. And get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. And I'll see you in just a second. Black Power.